I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, and I'm located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Monroe, Washington. And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for listening to Wheel Talk. We would love some more interaction with you all throughout this future episodes, and we would love to hear some listener questions. They may get on the episode.
Yeah, just submit them to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can submit them on our Instagram at wheeltalkpodcast. Thanks.
Are these actually timed pretty close when you end up editing them? You probably don't have to shift them that much.
We do a really good job at getting them right on.
Yeah, if anything, they're like half a second off or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Hi, Becca.
Hi, Ryan. Hi.
Hi, Becca. Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
So just like I end every episode with bye. You start every episode with hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. We have our ways. We have our nicks and
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting started. How's your day today? We'll start with you.
Oh God.
I saw your recent statuses, so I don't know if that happened today or if that was yesterday, but.
Okay, well, yeah, my day's been kind of weird. We'll start with yesterday. I've been dealing with unemployment and trying to get unemployment because they closed my shop down. You know, my shop has been closed, and so I have been making enough to pay the bills, but I haven't been making enough to pay myself. Like, I've been barely making enough. Now, I have savings, which I'm super grateful for and, like, such a blessing, but that's what I've been paying myself with is my savings.
Yeah.
And, so, I've been doing this unemployment process thing, and it's been hell. Like, I feel so bad for the unemployment people because it's just been crazy. The phone lines are supposed to handle 4,000 people, and now they're handling 100,000 people.
Crap.
Like that's how many people are calling in a day. So there's been a lot of waiting on hold, and I finally kind of found a loophole today, and yesterday I was in line at Chipotle, social distancing, and unemployment called me. And so they were like, well, we're going to fix everything. And so they like put up the PUA claim, which is the disaster claim, whatever, and for self-employed people, because they opened it up to self-employed people. And then I looked at it last night, like at midnight, and it was like, disqualified, excess funds, or excess hours. And I was like, oh,
so
shit.
Are there like 10 different criteria or something that you would fall under, and then they just check things off?
I guess, but you do weekly claims. Like, I've never done unemployment, so this is all a new thing for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine most small business people haven't done unemployment. And so I called this morning, and she figured out the disqualified thing. She's like, oh, well, that was just a glitch, and I'll fix that. And I was like, well, what's happening with this excess hours situation? And she goes, well, if you work more than 40 hours in a week, it doesn't matter how much you get paid for those, you don't get paid unemployment because you technically have a full-time job. And I was like, of course I have a full-time job. I'm self-employed.
Is it because in your business there's no delineation between Paint a Pot and like other studio things, so you can't say like, I'm not working any hours at Paint a Pot that would normally make me money?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe I should separate them out. I never separated out the business. I should have started. By the way, if you ever start a Paint a Pot section and you also do pottery on the side, separate it. Fucking separate your businesses. I never did that, so that's something that I'm learning right now. But yeah, I guess. And so since I haven't done any hours, or since I'm honest and I say, hey, I've worked 60 hours this week, but I haven't gotten paid at all, I'm not eligible for unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Do you have to specify like what type of income you make? Is it from selling goods or from services and stuff like that?
No, it's just total. And I mean, they don't, I mean, the system's not set up for this, so it's not any
Yeah.
fault of their own.
Yeah.
And so it's just not set up for what's happening right now. And so I have a lot of grace for them, and a lot of people are like, I can't believe you're like so calm. And I'm like, well, I mean, behind every system is a human. So, and behind every human is imperfection. So I don't know, and I'm gonna appeal it, and hopefully it'll come through. But right now, it's not looking very like good.
Yeah, because they see it more as like, can you physically go to work? No. Okay.
Right,
Then
yeah.
you're sitting at home and you cannot work. So
Yeah,
you're technically
exactly.
unemployed.
Right, and so it's, I'll call and do an appeal again, but it's been like a 3-week process, and I mean, it's a lot of money, and I guess I was like, well, I mean, I want to make sure that I'm honest, that's the thing, is that
Yeah.
I don't really have anything but my honesty, so my integrity is kind of important to me, and so I'm not going to say that I'm not working, because I am working, but I don't know. I'll have to call them and ask them what to do about that. So hopefully they can work with me. Everybody I've talked to that's a human has been extra nice, so I'm sure they'll be able to at least guide me in a direction that might be good for the future, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it seems like the hour
Like-
part is tricky because, like,
Right.
how many
Like,
self-employed
if I-
people actually work 40 hours a week?
Right, like no one. If I lied and said I didn't work at all, I'd be getting $835 a week.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference of money. And and if I was just like, I didn't work any hours this week, yeah, I'd be getting paid like $800 a week. So that's really infuriating. And it's also infuriating because there's a lot of people that I don't know, the whole system of unemployment is kind of infuriating. But it's hard to be like, hey, I'm working my ass off and paying my bills enough, just not paying myself. And then there's people sitting at home, no fault to themselves, like, they got laid off or whatever, and they're not, or even some people, they got laid off and they're just sitting at home and just waiting this out and not looking for any jobs, and they're getting paid $800 a month, like a week,
Yeah.
Then there's the other people that actually need it, and it makes sense, and good for them, and I want everybody to get their money, but it's hard to grapple with, and I'm trying to have grace, and I'm trying to think about the good things in life, like the fact that I went to Target yesterday and got 2 more pairs of sweatpants, and
Nice.
yeah, I'm stoked about it. And it's like, I'm not struggling for money. I mean, I have savings, so I'm just depleting my savings essentially, which is not really in the plan.
Right.
And
how long are those savings going to last you if the impact is longer than the last 6 weeks or whatever?
Right. I mean, they could last me quite some time, but that's not what they're there for.
Mm-hmm.
The savings are specifically there to, like, I guess they're there to help me in a dire need, but the dire need was not based on the government shutting my business down, so that's the problem.
Yeah.
The savings are there for if I get into an issue, like if I break my wrists or maybe make it to retirement.
Right.
Like,
What's retirement? What are you talking about?
what's that? So, yeah, that's kind of annoying. But like I said, I'm excited about my sweatpants, and also Andrew got me a flask for my birthday that says, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything is fine."
I saw that on your story today.
Which is essentially my anthem. So that was good too.
Yeah.
What about you? How was your day?
I had a good day at work. I got a lot of stuff done. I've been like working outside of my office the last, I don't know, week or so. Just
Changing
like
it up.
not sitting at the desk and working with
Yeah.
the 2 monitors. So I'm kind of like working down in the living room area or the dining room on like the couch or like
How's that
at the
going? Do you
counter.
like it better?
Yeah, I like it. It's different. I mean, generally my schedule is like I don't eat lunch until I like feel like I need to, which is usually it hits about 1:30 or 2 o'clock, and I'm like, I should probably eat something.
Yeah.
And so it just makes it easier for me to not eat lunch immediately. And,
Right.
you know, I don't have to make too many trips back and forth to like the Keurig for tea or something like that. But also
Yeah.
working on a laptop, a 17-inch laptop versus 2 monitors, it's like not so much multitasking.
Yeah.
You kind of focus
You
on one task at a time rather than getting distracted
Do you get less done?
on my laptop than on
Yeah.
no, I think I get more done. And actually I get distracted in the office because I have my tabletop here, so I have a bunch of notes on the table that I'm like looking at and glancing at, and like there's a bunch of like ceramics related notes sitting here, so I like something comes in my mind and I like jot something down, or I'm like, oh, I can keep this notes app open over here on this window and I can jot something down, and then I'm like back and forth between what I'm working on. But or I like package up an order that I get like right in the middle of the day that like I should probably put off until after work because I don't need to get it out right now. So those kind of things like distract me.
Yeah.
So if I can change my area I'm working in, it helps. Plus I can like
Totally.
stand up at the island in the like dining room kitchen area, which is kind of different. I can stand up at the higher counter so I can work at it, which is nicer than just sitting down or sitting on a couch or whatever. So
That's good.
that's kind of what I've been doing lately, and then we'll go down to the studio and work on some stuff tonight. So
yeah.
I wasn't too busy yesterday with the studio stuff, but that's all right. I'm kind of planning out some stuff a little bit. So
Well, I think that it's okay to give yourself a little grace and to, like, you know, especially in this time, the COVID moments. I don't know. I think that it's been really great for some people to just kind of like see where their priorities lie. And I know you love doing pottery, but like you have time with Rachel that you wouldn't normally have, and you know that's like something that should be cherished, I guess. Or you know, like at least taken advantage of. It's like, of course you want to do pottery, but the fact that you have like a whole month with your wife that you wouldn't normally have is kind of awesome. So
yeah,
except might be going crazy too.
It's a balance because it's a lot of we're like, let's work on this project, or help me with this. It's like normally I would be working till 5 o'clock and then I would go down in the studio, and normally she'd be working, but when she's not working, she's here. So the time, I guess the time like neglected from spending time together is more apparent because she's here, and there's the ability to spend time together. So if I go to the studio when she is here, it's more obvious that like I'm choosing
you're going to the
that
studio
over
exactly
spending time. So there's kind of a balance of that, or like deciding what to, you know, to go on a walk together after work, or help with dinner or something like that, which we've done a little bit. And so yeah,
I think that I mean, if it was like, I'm not really shouldn't be giving it any advice, but I would say kind of take those moments as much as you can and do it. You know, like ceramics will be there when she goes back to work.
Right.
Yeah, you know, you gotta find your priorities.
And I'm probably already getting ahead of things with ceramics tasks and priorities.
We're all
like
kind of delayed 2 months anyway, so
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, on a side tangent, is she going back to work soon? Or is she...
So she just took another voluntary leave for the month of June.
Oh, wow.
So she's already been on leave for the month of April and the month of May. And then usually she does her schedule like a month in advance. So I think like a week or two ago she put it in for June. I mean, she's a flight attendant. I don't think we see the airlines getting back to normal anytime soon. So
no, I don't think so.
I'm not going to be too surprised if we're going to be in the same boat for the coming, 3 to 4 months or 5 months or whatever. you know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, and you're lucky that you can be in a position where she can just take that leave. And she's lucky that they're paying her half.
Yeah,
At least, right?
yeah, close to half. So she's getting something.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Cool.
she's probably the reason that I've been being able to keep up with sales, and we'll talk about this here in a bit, but like keeping up with being able to sell stuff for my like weekly updates, because she's been helping with the ceramic stuff. So, you know, we're actually doing a lot better than I thought. I thought we would, you know, she would not be working and it would be kind of business as usual, but she's been a lot more productive than I expected, to be honest with you. And I think from her surprise too, she's more productive than she expected to. So
like she didn't know what she could attribute to the like what the daily works of you and the house.
Yeah. And just being able to be creative with things that could get done that maybe weren't prioritized or didn't have enough time to focus on.
Yeah.
When she's normally working 3 or 4 days a week and stuff like that. So yeah, it's totally different, and figuring out how to adjust has been, I think it's getting better too with the weather getting nicer and like having more activities to do outside. So
yeah. Can you go outside? We can finally go on like hikes and stuff, but we were like closed for hikes. Like literally you couldn't go.
Like they would close down parks and stuff?
They closed down all the parks. All of the parks.
Really?
Yeah. And like no one could go on hikes. Like
yeah, they were kind of encouraging people to go out and get exercise, to like walk the neighborhood or walk your park or whatever, just keep your social distance around people. But yeah, they were encouraging that kind of thing.
It was like, I think Jay Inslee literally said, you should go outside and you should be active, but also all of the parks are closed.
So like walk your neighborhood basically, just don't go to a park.
Yeah, and in Washington, it's such a huge part of our, like, just our nature is such a huge part of this society and the culture here. And, like, going out to the mountains and hiking and stuff, and, like, nope.
So they just, like, close off entrance areas to parks and just say, like, closed?
Yeah, they put, like, caution tape around them.
Jeez. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they put some, like, caution tape around... The neighborhood park has like workout kind of things,
right?
That they like taped off so you don't like go on those shared workout like bars and monkey bars and stuff like that. But yeah, they didn't like tape off the park or walkways or anything like that.
We also have a plan. We have like the 5-phase or like 4-phase plan, and there's no dates.
Right.
It's like whatever, 4 phases, cool, whatever. But he's like, well, it could take 3 weeks. It could take more. Like, oh my God.
It's like, here's the next time that we're gonna check back in and decide whether we're extending it or we're actually gonna have a date in mind for when the next phase is gonna happen.
I know.
We should probably just roll into what we're talking about since we're already doing it. Okay, so this will be a pretty informal episode. We're just going to do like, I want to say like a COVID update, but basically we're 6 weeks removed from when we first did our update about how you can adjust your business when unexpected happens. And maybe we'll talk about kind of like how we've shifted. I think, so this is early May right now, like first week of May. Our update was, I think, mid-March, last time we talked about like this shift and kind of what we're going through. So I would, kind of a leading question, I guess, to start would be like, what's the same in what you're doing?
Well, I'm going to work every day. Much to unemployment's chagrin. I'm going to work every day, and I am hustling. Every day I'm hustling. I think that's... I feel like everything's pretty much the same. It's just kind of like... I don't know. like go to work. I was having a really hard time with the motivation beforehand, and now I'm a little bit better.
Is it just figuring out how to balance what you're working on, and that's
I guess
improving it?
I guess. Also some like life changes and stuff that have helped with the motivation and things like that. But yeah, I still don't have enough stuff for Leavenworth when it starts.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Leavenworth is my regular show, and it will start once Jay Inslee opens. They are on a rolling plan to start. They're like, okay, we're going to start May 10th, and then or 8th, and then it was supposed to start last weekend on May 1st.
Right.
And then and then they're like, okay, we're going to start May 8th, and then he came out again, and we're like, okay, I guess we're starting the first week of June.
Jeez. I'm surprised he moved it out 1 week rather than like at least 2 to 3 weeks the first time.
Well, the show date never changed, but like his, like the society, our state was supposed to open up May 4th. It was supposed to open up yesterday, and so this weekend would have been the first weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I won't go to the first weekend show regardless, because the first weekend that I'm open is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
and so, yeah.
Do they leave any determination based on the county you're in or anything? I mean, I guess it's pretty statewide, so.
Which is really frustrating too, because a lot of the counties, like not even counties that I live in or associate with, are so rural that they have there's not even any cases, and they don't talk to anybody outside of that county, and like,
Yeah.
So that's frustrating for them.
Stand still.
Yeah, people don't think of Washington as a rural state, but the reality is that pretty much every state has very rural parts, so.
Right. Yeah, so that's kind of getting into, I guess, what's the same with my stuff?
Yeah, what's the same?
I'm still working the remote. My job is 100% remote anyways. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much all the same. That's basically the only thing that's the same, I guess. I mean, some of my like habits and stuff, I guess, are similar too, with being at home all the time anyways, but
yeah,
I'm still getting time in the studio. I'm probably increasing time in the studio, but yeah, all of those have pretty much stayed the same. What about adjustments? What are different, maybe specific to shows, or how you're adjusting to what's different? You said
you
Leavenworth.
Go first.
So my business really relies on shows. So
yeah,
I'm like, I mean, I'm going with it. I'm figuring out I've still got my calendar, my list of shows, and I'm just crossing them off as they get canceled. I can't do anything about that. Future shows that I have coming up, some of the application deadlines are getting pushed back, so they're allowing people to apply later and later, which is good because I'm just adding on a ton of shows. Not a ton. I'm probably adding on like 4 or 5 shows that I'm applying for.
Yeah.
Because, Rachel and I are probably not going to go out of the country for any trip in the spring or in the fall like we were going to. So I'm like, hey, I'm just going to add shows like crazy. Because whenever this does hit, like, I want to be hitting shows hard when I can.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the main shift for me. And I've basically been shifting all of my sales online, which has been really good because I would have had my very first in-person show 3 days ago on May 2nd. And I sold a lot more before I would have sold anything on May 2nd. So all of my sales up to this date have been like icing on the cake, I guess, for what I would normally have made at this time of year.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, can you remind me when we're done and when I leave that I have to put that wine glass in the bisque? Just say that.
Put that wine glass in the bisque. Okay, I'll try to remember.
It's running right now, but it's on a 5-hour hold, so I have some give time.
We'll see if I remember. So that's the main changes.
Yeah, I mean, well, for me, what has been great in this whole situation personally is the main changes is that I have been house sitting for somebody, and so I have been able to kind of like decompress and like go home to their house, not my house, but like I baked a chicken pot pie the other day, and I've been able to do a lot of like normal things that I don't normally do, which has been kind of awesome.
Is that because they actually live somewhere else and that's their second home, or they just went to visit family or something?
Yeah, she went to visit her mom, and her mom's alone. Well, not all alone, but like, and he can work from home too, her husband, so they just took the whole family and like went there. I also house sat their house in the Christmas time for like a whole month too. Yeah. And so so that's been really nice, and like just being able to come home and just like sit and watch a show or whatever. Getting
some separation from work and home.
That's been great. And and then I have also been trying to do more online stuff because my sales pretty much 100% come from shows as well. My personal sales. So the difference is, I guess, that, I don't have the Paint-A-Pot, so there's no money coming in to support me from the Paint-A-Pot. So where, maybe...
Are you still getting some take-home kit inquiries or anything like that?
A few. At the very beginning, that was what was generating money, but now that's kind of dropped off, which I expected it to happen. So I have been doing pottery. I did a update, like a real live update on my birthday.
Not a flash sale.
May 1st. A real live update, not a flash sale on my birthday. And so that was stressful, and but very, very good. And I'm kind of like set for the next couple of weeks as far as bills are concerned, so that's nice.
How many pieces did you have in that update?
I had 95 pieces in the update. I imagine that most people's first updates don't have 95 pieces.
Yeah.
But,
You're like, if I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go for it.
Andrew was like, we were putting in all of the stuff, and Andrew was like, how much stuff do you have? I was like, a lot.
Yeah, when you got to put those stickers on them with the numbers on them, it's like, you got a lot.
Yeah, so I sold, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what's 95 minus 21?
74.
74?
Yeah.
I sold 74 pieces in the update.
And that was basically over a 2-day span you sold that many?
No, that was one day.
That was just on that day. Okay.
That was just that day.
Just that day. Wow.
And yeah, and so and what was really awesome about it is that it was that one day, and then I went in and I thank you to all of the famous people that do all these updates, because I'm a very observant person, and so from observing you, it was a lot easier. But yeah, we did this number system. I put numbers on every piece, and then that was super helpful for packing and for shipping things. And I shipped everything on Sunday, so I sold things on Friday. I went to Leavenworth on Friday just to chill out, and then on Saturday I took the day off, and then on Sunday I shipped everything.
How do you ship it on Sunday? Or do you not?
Well, I boxed it up.
You boxed it, okay.
So I boxed it up on Sunday, and then I dropped it off on Monday, and then I did my Monday deliveries. I've been doing deliveries on Mondays that are local, and so I did my Monday deliveries and drove around. And
your deliveries of the pottery that people bought from your update, or just take-home kits, or picking up take-home kits and stuff like that?
Anything. I'm not picking up take-home kits, but pretty much anything. And that people buy from me, and it's just easier to go around for 3 hours on Monday and drop things off, and I get a drive. And
what are people buying from you on a normal basis?
Nothing.
Well, that you're dropping off, are they Because
that was the flash sale. I sold the flash sale
stuff. Okay.
And then the last Monday it was garden stakes that I was dropping off. So
okay.
yeah. So yeah, it was real. You asked me if it was gonna be worth it. What did you say? You were like,
I think I said, by the time this is over, do you feel like it would be worth it for you to keep posting stuff online regularly, or do I need to ask this after you ship everything?
yeah. Anyway, I was like, you should probably ask me after. The shipping went surprisingly well.
Did you do it all by yourself, or did you have somebody to help you?
I did. Andrew did not help me. And so it went surprisingly well, but we'll see if everybody gets their pieces without them breaking. And
see, I found that part very soothing to just repetitive. Okay, I'm getting organized. I've got these pieces organized. I got the numbers, got the label.
That's because you're not an anxious person. I checked to make sure that the right piece was in the right box 5 times.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it was fine. It was.
Is it
fine.
because after you wrapped it, you're like, oh, was that the right one for that person?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you take the sticker off and stick it on the outside of the corrugated cardboard so you knew?
No, I stuck it on the bottom, and this time I actually didn't do corrugated cardboard for all my pieces. I just wrapped them in paper and then did bubble wrap. So we'll see how they do. They're wine glasses. They're less than 4x4.
Yeah.
I think they're 3 inches by 3.5. And I had 6x6 boxes, so I just wrapped it up, put some peanuts in there, and just stuck them in there.
Yeah.
Obviously the ones that I did where I shipped 4 pieces in a box, I did the corrugated cardboard. But yeah, so it went surprisingly well, and I'm positive that a lot of it was because it was my birthday. So always have an update on your birthday.
To do it.
No, that people got the drive to buy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So always do an update on your birthday. That's very profitable. I made $2,000.
Profit after the shipping and all that stuff? Or
no,
that's how much you sold before shipping?
Yeah, total. I think I spent $300 on shipping. So
nice.
It was a lot on shipping.
Yeah.
There was 40 packages. So
yeah, so you got a lot of multiples that people bought.
A few.
See, when I'm packing my stuff, I enjoy the moving a thing from the in progress column to the complete column. So putting it into a pile that's done and having the label and everything's ready to go. And I usually just write the person's first name on the outside of the box so that I can keep track of who's who, and then I just cover it with the label.
With these, thankfully I've shipped a lot of stuff for Andrew with him, and so my system is which is his system, is print out all of the packing slips that are on Shippo and print them out onto the label printer so it's sticky, and then cut them in half because you do 2 to a label. Right. Cut them in half and then just stick it to the box on one of the flaps, and then
on the inside.
Yeah, on the inside. Well, on the flap that flaps down, and then you put another flap on top, and then so you can pack everything, get bubbles all in them, and just do pack them all up, and all you have to do is tape, and then print out the labels and stick the labels to the side of the box. So you can match up the labels with the packing slip, and then you tape it up.
Okay.
So that's kind of the system that I used, but it worked out good, and yeah,
you got them all out in over the weekend. That's why I like the weekend update, because it gives you an extra day or two where you're not in your typical weekly groove, I guess, so you don't feel time is dedicated elsewhere. You can kind of focus on it if you want to.
Yeah. What's crazy is that if I was top of my game, that update, I could have done that in a week. I could have made those, glazed them, put them up online in probably 7 days tops. If I was really at 100%.
Yeah.
But
But you were advertising it for more than 7 days. Or were you?
No.
No?
I advertised it for 3.
Oh, I thought you mentioned that you were going to do an
And
so you just mentioned that you were doing an update, and then it was within 3 days?
Yeah. I knew that I was going to do a sale on my birthday, but I was like, okay, I'm doing wine glasses, and I think I showed a picture and said I was going to do an update on my birthday while I was glazing them, and then I think that I probably should have put put an update of all the pictures of the wine glasses beforehand, but I actually ended up doing that at midnight on Thursday, and then the update was on Friday at 10 a.m. And so like people had from midnight to 10 a.m. to actually look at the pictures.
Oh, your preview thing. Yeah, I got
Yeah, the preview.
Yeah,
It's okay, it was my
the
first
preview
time.
part is like the most work I felt like whenever I do the updates, like doing the preview and showing the pieces. People do it all different ways. I mean, I guess on your website, did you just mark everything sold out so people could look at it? Or how did you allow people to see it? Or did you have them just look through your little slideshow?
I uploaded all of the pictures separately, so when you go to the website, it's like got all the pictures below, but there's no prices, and then you click on the little picture of the pyramid thing, and then that goes into the shop.
Okay.
So, but that would have been a good idea to have them all just marked as sold out, and then just change the quantity to 1.
Yeah, I've seen some people do that.
But I also feel like that might have been more work at like 10, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to do a batch. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you would do, because you have to do the quantity in Square, and I don't know if you could do a batch quantity update in Square.
Yeah.
So
Interesting problem to solve, right?
that is interesting, because I think I would have preferred to do it that way the first time anyway. But
yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. I really like these people that rely completely on online sales. Man, they got their system down, and like keeping up with the process of the grind of doing it every couple weeks or every month. It's like, oh my gosh. Couldn't imagine doing an update with like 150 or 200 pieces every month.
So much respect.
I mean, you were talking about starting them and making them within 7 days. Like they do that, but they do that over like a 2-week span and just make, and then they like just are doing the trimming and the glazing and all that stuff. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then they're advertising daily about like, here's my next update, and like staying creative with their posts, and it's a lot.
Yeah, long term, I'm not sure that it's really realistic, you know. For me, I don't know if I could
Yeah, I've been doing the online sales so I'm sticking to once a week. I'm adding something new to the shop. Normally it's about 15 or so pieces.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to mix it up, keep it fresh, so that it's not always oil bottles or not always mugs. And it's been challenging. I've probably done it I think I'm at 5 weeks now. I think I've done it 5 weeks in a row now. And, I'm kind of getting to the end where I'm figuring out what the next thing's going to be. I got an idea in mind for this week, but yeah, it's been tough. It's been challenging. And then like the posts for social media, it's a lot of I'm showing you this form and I'm looking forward to getting this thing in the shop this weekend, and here's the next thing. And usually I'm announcing the sale is going to happen typically about 3 to 4 days before it happens.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of announcing it in a story with a countdown feature so people can get reminders on Instagram, or I'm putting it in a post and showing like, hey, these came out of the kiln recently. They're going to be alongside another batch of pieces in an update coming on Sunday at 1 o'clock or whatever. Yeah. And I've been shifting the days and times of when they are. So they're on weeknights or they're on, weekdays. at 11 or noon or something like that, or weekends. So that's been interesting, and it's a little slower with some of the sales, but I'm getting a lot of good data about like which items sell well and what colors sell well, and certain items that are just doing really really good. So like
What do you think?
the mini planters with the air plants have been killer. Like they've done
Yeah.
so well. I've had to reorder air plants a second time, and I think the last time I ordered them, I ordered like 40 of them. I'm down to maybe 15 or so now, and I just ordered a
Nice.
few more because certain styles of air plants sell a lot better than others. So
Yeah.
the more that I sell, I mean, I've probably sold like 50 of those mini planters since I debuted
Nice.
them. Like, and they're so
That's
cheap.
awesome, Ryan.
They're so cheap. I think that's the main thing, because it's like $12 for a mini planter, which is, I keep saying mini planter. It's just a shot glass. I just repurposed shot glasses that I make already,
Right.
and
And they're tiny.
They're sold as mini planters. And
They're not actually shot glasses. They're .75 shot glasses.
Yeah, they're like
small.
mini shot glasses / toothpick holders. And there's Autumn.
Hi, Autumn.
So I kind of find a way to repurpose those, and those have been perfect. I've probably got 5 or 6 of them that I've sent out this week for Mother's Day orders that people bought.
That's great.
So they've been really good. And then you figure out what colors sell well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been pretty fun. And I just told Rachel we were looking at it hit the beginning of May, right? So Etsy, I looked at my Etsy sales for the month of April, and I just basically hit almost $3,000 worth of sales just in the month of April.
What the fuck? Really?
which is more than I had all of 2019 in online sales. So you can kind of see where you're putting your time and effort, you're getting results from. So, I think
That's great.
keeping it fresh and new every week, and hopefully not being too salesy with it, is getting people interested. And a lot of those, I was counting a couple days ago, I think it was yesterday, I was looking at the Etsy sales and seeing who were repeat customers, and I probably had 11 or 12 repeat customers from people that just started buying from me like within the last couple of months, or they're like on my mailing list and they've bought. So I'm getting a lot of repeat customers, which is really good. So I'm starting to like see some regularity with, having a good delivery experience and packing stuff well and putting handwritten notes in the packages and stuff like that is actually like helping get people to come back.
Yeah.
So I think I'm starting to see some of that come to fruition with like sending out coupons. I'm getting people to claim their $5 off $30 or more coupon more regularly, which is really nice. So, and then like getting mailing list people to buy stuff has been really good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you seen, what are your sales for the year?
For the whole year on Etsy?
On Etsy, yeah, that'd be interesting to see. I'll tell you mine because I have it up. Okay, keep in mind that I have not ever really sold online before, so my online sales are 8,772. It's pretty good.
Nice. So this year, $3,500. So the majority of those sales have been just from the month of April.
That's amazing. Like, my sales, I think, also include, I believe that they also, like, January I had 759, February was 618, but when we started doing the Corona shit, I, started selling, I did all of the kits online.
Right.
And so that includes those sales, like the clay kits and stuff that is local.
Right.
So, which normally wouldn't really be online. So.
Yeah. So the online stuff, I'm not going to get crazy with it and say this is going to scale for the whole year. I can do $3,000 worth of sales every month going on from here on out. It's more like, okay, what are changing in people's in people's habits and stuff. They're at home more. They're online shopping more. They're
Right.
buying gifts for people for Mother's Day. They're around their house more, and they're working from home. They're looking for a new mug to use in their collection because they're spending more time at home and they're seeing what they use on a daily basis. Maybe they're looking for a new planter to spice up their workspace, or, it's getting to be springtime. They're looking to get a plant or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think the proximity to your home, you're seeing what you are around on a daily basis, and you're just like, okay, what can spruce this up? Or
Totally.
who can I send a gift right now that really needs it, or could,
Yeah.
use something like that. So for me, I'm kind of seeing it as I'm getting a head start on my spring sales, because it's unknown. Like, I don't know when my next show is. I mean, I know my next show is slated to be June 6th, actually. But, yeah, I'm kind of getting ahead of it and trying to stay creative with ways that I can make money, because I don't want to just twiddle my thumbs and keep making stuff and not try to get anything out the door,
Yeah. That's true. That's exactly what I want to do, but I won't.
So we did, I mentioned June 6th. So I sell at Westside Market in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And they technically fall under the farmers market is what they enrolled as. So they kind of talk with the health department, and they're figuring out what ways we need to adjust to have the market. So we're slated to have the show on June 6th, which is looking forward to it. I think it's basically going to be, everybody that's vending has to have masks on, and they're
6 feet apart.
6 feet apart. You got to have like a line on the ground, so when customers come into your booth, they're either by themselves. You can only have one person at a time, or two people at a time, I think.
I'm going to have a really hard time with that.
Yeah, because yours is a really big booth. You could probably have a couple people in at a time. I mean,
I know, but I'm just going to have a really hard time. Just personally, I will have a hard time.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't want anybody to get sick, and I've been trying to keep my distance from people, but also at the very, very root of everything, I don't give a fuck. I do, but I don't. So, I'm trying really hard to be, like, aware of people's space and all those things, and I know that it's not about me, it's about other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like really, really trying to abide by the rules. I'm a terrible person.
Yeah. It'll
He's
be
like,
an
"Yeah, you
adjustment
are."
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and the show's responsibility, they have to limit how many people could come into it. I don't know that you all would have something like that. Would you have barricades blocking off certain walkways so there would be people at the entrance, like making sure there's not too many people in the area?
No, I don't think so, because ours isn't technically a show. It'd be like a farmer's market. So,
But ours is the
Yeah, I
same
don't-
way. Like, they're saying you have to have
Yeah.
one entrance, one exit. So you kind of like let people in, and there's like a line out the entrance with people 6 feet apart.
that's so
And
crazy.
then they're like letting 100
Yeah.
people in at a time, and then like letting them kind of go. And then as people get out, they let people in. And
Well, the space that you have on your shows is so much larger than the space that we have. We have 20 booths, and they're 3 feet apart. It's like you could walk around the entire perimeter in less than a minute.
oh, really?
Or maybe 2 minutes. It's not like.
Okay, so maybe it won't be too bad though for you all.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. I don't think that they will. I don't think that they will like do a one entrance, one exit, because it's like a hallway. So it's like an
But when
outdoor
you just
hallway.
make the one end of it be the entrance and one end of it be the exit, if it's a hallway?
No, because it's a sidewalk to a street. Like it's like
They basically
can't-
have the barricade. Is the street open with cars driving on it, or is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's a sidewalk behind it. It would be very, very hard. I don't know what they're planning on doing, but
Yeah, that'd be a little difficult.
yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. The organizers have been kind of like, they've been abiding by whatever the health department wants them to do, and
Yeah.
they did say they're not going to limit the booth numbers. Basically, they said they normally get about 120 booths, but they're going to say if people do not pay by May 9th or whatever, when the deadline is to pay, you're just going to be dropped out for the year, and they're not going to replace, not for the year. You're going to be dropped out for that month show, and they're not going to add somebody to replace you. So that number's going to dwindle based on who doesn't pay for it and who doesn't join because they don't want to risk it or whatever. So that's kind of where we're at with it. They're even having like food trucks and stuff that if they do have anybody with food, basically you'd have to have it prepackaged unless it's like a food truck, I guess. If it's hot, then you don't. But I don't know, something like that. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be a big adjustment.
I
mean,
don't know.
I'm like, I need to get back to it, whether it's, for sales reasons or just, I think people, if they get the opportunity to go out and like go to the shows like that, they're going to want to.
I am almost 150% positive that when they open it and like when people can go out and be tourists again and do all those things, they're not going to give a flying F what happens. They're going to swarm the place like they've always done before. It's going to be like Black Friday every freaking day. And you best be ready. You're going to sell a lot of crap, but also people are not going to follow the rules. That's what I think.
I think people are going to
follow the rules.
I think you're going to see a lot more masks.
Yeah,
you're going to see people more reluctant to touch certain surfaces or certain things. I don't know how that's going to work with pottery. I think we were talking about it with items at the show that people have to pick up and see, like pottery, and they were kind of saying like maybe you have them hand sanitize before they pick up anything, and then they sanitize after they leave or something if they want, so that they're touching your pieces with sanitized hands. Otherwise, stuff could pass between people touching the same things, or like point things out that you want, so that I'm the only one handling things and giving them the bag. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be an adjustment.
We're also going to have to make sure to tell people to make sure that they wash the pieces before they use them. Which they should do anyway.
They should, yeah. But... I dishwash everything, yeah.
I certainly don't. Like, I've definitely bought a mug or gotten one of my mugs, wiped it out with a t-shirt, and then filled it up with water. But that's because... I mean, we all know. I mean, I'm having issues with... I'm not really having issues, but I mean, like, obviously I don't care about...
We know how you are. If you listen long enough, you know Becca.
Yeah, my goal in life is to... I've eaten a pickle off of the ground. Let's just say that. Like and then I ate a rock because
was it a cut pickle or was it?
Yes.
Was
it
it still?
It was a cut pickle.
Oh my gosh.
It's just dirt, and it was outside, so it is just dirt. And then I accidentally ate a rock with it because it stuck to the pickle.
I had another prompt here. What changes have you had, like, personally or relationship or socially with other people that have been different? Have you been chatting with people digitally more, or reaching out to certain people more that you wouldn't talk to normally, or no?
I don't have family here, so my family is my friends. So, I mean, I do have family, but they don't talk to me. And like, my sister's down in Kent, so... And also, my immediate family is... My sister and my uncle that live near me are compromised, so I don't want to go over there. So, no, it's not really changed all that much around here in that regard.
Has that been a good mental break for you, not seeing as many people the last 6 weeks? Or is it getting to be a little antsy?
I guess. I still see Andrew every day, and a lot of my members still come to the shop, and we just keep a distance. And so it really hasn't changed all that much. I've been very good about, like, you know, not touching people. I don't hug anybody, and we keep 6 feet apart, but yeah. What about you? You do virtual game nights.
We did a virtual game night, yeah. It's been hard not... So we were kind of planning things to, like, go see family or stuff like that out of town, and it's only 2 hours away, and stuff like that I think is getting harder, I guess. Just because you're like, okay, what's on our schedule? Nothing's on our schedule. What are we going to work? What are we going to do? And then, I mean, it's been nice for the home stuff with figuring out home projects and working on things, and there's ample time to work on projects.
Yeah.
Because your evenings are not used up and your weekends are not used up and things like that. So I feel like I'm more present in each day that way. I'm not planning out my whole week and stuff like that.
That's true. I do feel that way. That's nice.
So you're more day to day, like, okay, what am I going to do today?
Yeah. But also my calendar's totally open, which is nice too. So it's like, oh yeah, yeah, sure. I have time for that.
Yeah. So I feel like that's been tough. We're actually going to see both our parents this weekend. We're going to go visit my parent. Obviously, it's Mother's Day this weekend. My mom's birthday's on Saturday as well. Saturday?
It is? You didn't tell me that.
Oh, were you going to send her something?
I would have.
It's her 60th.
God dang it, Ryan! I would have sent her something more in the box. She's going to know already.
I thought that's why you sent her the one thing.
I didn't know it was her birthday. I sent it to her for Mother's Day.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Well, okay, so Ryan's mom...
She's going to get this after anyways, so...
Right, so Ryan's mom bought some planters. Ryan actually also bought a planter for her.
Wait, she bought planters?
Yeah. So now she has 3 planters.
Nice, okay.
And so I sent the box out, and then I also sent a little gnome for her to paint with paints and stuff. And told her that Ryan has to fire it. But I would have sent her something else. I would have sent her something funner. But I think she'll enjoy the gnome.
She'll like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to see family here soon. We had some plans with, like, friends and stuff cancel early on when this started. We were trying to, like, have a game night or, like, have dinner with friends or something like that, which... Typically, when we're in our daily lives, we don't prioritize that stuff as much. So, like, not being able to do stuff like that has been a little bit tougher.
Well, yeah, it's like now you have all this time and you can't hang out with your friends.
Yeah. And, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't hang out with friends that much outside of, like, daily life anyways. So, like, we chat occasionally, but I don't, like... But, like, Rachel and I getting to go have dinner with a couple or something like that is... nice to go outside the house and stuff like that. So yeah, that's different. I mean, Rachel and I did go on a hike this weekend, which was nice.
Well, that's good.
We went out and about and did that, and I didn't see anybody. I saw like a few people with masks on when we were out and about, but you're out in nature and stuff, so it's like we're not close to each other.
Would you say that the demographic where you live is more conservative or liberal?
I would say Cincinnati is more liberal, probably.
Right.
Kentucky is probably more conservative.
Yeah. Monroe's pretty conservative, but everything else is liberal. Leavenworth is super conservative, but I think that you can definitely tell the difference between the parts. Like, usually in the more liberal areas, people are wearing masks. I wear a mask. Just so you know, I wear a mask out in
Plus,
public.
it could depend on who's going out. Like, if people are people that would be more likely to wear a mask staying home more, so you wouldn't see them out.
Right.
Versus, like, judging everybody you see out at this time as not wearing masks, so this area must be conservative because they're not wearing masks. I mean, that's a pretty general statement.
I just know generally that here to the mountains is a little bit more conservative than here to the ocean. So, but kind of interesting. It's not political though. Shouldn't be. Anyway, moving on.
We actually, one other thing that's been good, I guess. So Rachel normally, the last couple of years, she's been like exercising more and prioritizing that. And we've been exercising 1 day a week together, which I never exercise.
Yeah.
In the last like year. So we've been doing like a Sunday workout together. So Sunday mornings, we always do something for, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes or something together. And that's
Do you
been
feel
good.
better?
I don't know. I mean, people say that like they can tell that they feel more like they feel better because they exercise. I don't know if that's something that is easy to say because you're like, I'm doing this and I know it's good for me so that it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I don't know that I see the impact. I mean, I could be like sore the next day. Like I know that that's beneficial for me to be sore the next day. I think that's where I kind of judge it based on has it worked? You know, have I?
You were also very blessed with a non-complicated body, and you're very fit. Like naturally, you're very fit. So.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Are you 29 now or 30?
29.
That's right. I'm a year older than you.
29.
Yes. Yes.
I guess the only other personal stuff, I guess you already mentioned it, but the Rachel's not working. So she's been around that. She's been at home more and then prioritizing different projects and stuff. We've got a lot of stuff done. House stuff. Spending more time with the cats. The cats have Rachel around all day, so they're snuggling her all the time.
Oh, my cats just like are going insane. They need people. They're like, my cats are extra extroverted. Like the two kittens, not Tibbet, but Tibbet's loving this. She loves what's happening right now. The kittens, not so much. Every time somebody even walks by the window and they see them, they run up to the window and they're like, meow, like let me out.
Autumn's sitting on my lap right now.
Hi,
I'm waiting to hear her meow. Are you gonna meow?
With her little bow tie.
No.
So cute.
Little bow tie collar. Yeah, so that's been good. The no travel thing is hard though. Like we typically prioritize traveling a lot, and obviously where you're like, okay, plane and flying is not a thing, or like going on trips and stuff is not a thing right now. So figuring out like the rest of the year or the next few months, it's like, are we going to be able to travel? I feel like that's obviously a luxury for people to be able to travel and like go on trips and stuff.
Right. But why that's like literally a perk of your wife's job and like something that is part of your regular
life.
Life.
So, you know, if we were going to go somewhere and that's all of a sudden like, I don't think we're going anywhere. Or if we do, we're going to drive somewhere. And then, you know, what's that experience look like? Not being at home, being somewhere else, and then like, how safe is it to be in this other city and experiencing that city when all this stuff is going on? You know, are the restaurants going to be the same? Are you going to be able to get a table at a restaurant because there's so much less capacity at that restaurant or whatever? You know, how's your experience going to be shifted in this other place that you can't experience normally? What it would have been like months ago. So it's been kind of weird. I had one, let's see. I was wondering with your show stuff, I know you've been making some different stuff. Have you shifted what you've been making because the shows are not happening right now?
Oh yeah, totally. I've been making like so many hand built stuff, and like I've been making larger stuff, which is so ridiculous because I can't sell those online. I mean, I could if I wanted to be ridiculous and ship them, but I don't. So,
man, I just shipped like 2 pictures this weekend, and I was like, it's pretty good. And I did increase the price on the pictures, like you said.
Good.
So I sold that one last week cheaper, and then I sold 2 more this weekend at a higher price because I should have raised it, and I sold them both. So
What'd you sell?
I still got a couple more, but what's
what
that?
did you sell them for?
So the one that I sold last week was 55, and you were like, you need to bump those up. So I bumped up one of the, let's see, I bumped up the more smooth one that was comparable to that one to 60, and then I sold the textured one at 75.
Nice.
So
Nice. Yeah, I just don't want to ship anything that large. So, but I'm making more big stuff because I want to. I just made some awesome freaking molds for big stuff, and I made an oval mold for big stuff, and I'm stoked about it. And so I'm just stoked about it. So that will be happening, and I was just making more like larger bowls and stuff, which I normally wouldn't do, but
through hand building the bigger bowls, or you're not throwing those?
I did throw a few big ones, but mostly hand building. I love the way hand built large bowls look. They just look cool, and but I've been making a lot more hand built stuff, and like, just exploring new options and stuff. And I think that really the only thing I've been throwing is just wine glasses and planters. I've got like orders still that need to be filled, and and so
are they the wholesale orders?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you get some new contacts or people that requested orders while they're kind of not in business right now and at home and figuring out where they're...
A few. Yeah. The little store in Leavenworth that buys from me, I just dropped the stuff off and I was like, pay me later. She was like, I can't pay rent, and I was like, just pay me later, I don't care. Like, just sell get yourself some money and pay me when you can. I don't, I'm not struggling that much. Like I said, I have savings, so I can, just drop off the stuff and be like, I don't need this right now, and you do. So
yeah, these consignment shops, they're not open. They can't sell anything unless they all of a sudden shift their business online, and they can sell stuff that way. It's like, man,
it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so and I hadn't ordered brewing for a shop in Snohomish. And I texted her. I was like, do you still want this order? And she was like, well, maybe. And then and she never texted me back. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I didn't really want to do it right now anyway. So we're right there. And so I just never did it. But I could if I needed to. But yeah, so, and I'm trying to pay down some credit card debt. So I have gotten some custom orders that I instantly regretted, but I'm gonna do them.
Did you get deposits for them to help, or
no, I didn't, but it'll be fine. It's all people that I know.
Oh, okay. I did get that one customer of yours that got something semi recently, that
April?
oil bottle. Yeah, she got that, and then she also got a spoon rest, and then somebody commented on her post when she got it and liked the spoon rest, and I commented back and said, I have an extra one if you would like to buy it. So I sold that to her, which was nice. And it didn't feel salesy at all to comment in there and say,
right, it's just I have another one.
Yeah,
I got an extra.
I love those kind of sales. Those are perfect.
Yeah, and April's so awesome. She's super picky. And I love her. And, she was one of my very first customers. First customer. She ordered 6 bowls with handles. And they were red. But they weren't the red that she wanted. And they also weren't as big as she wanted. But she liked them anyway.
Nice.
So, yeah. Well, we're at an hour.
An hour and 8.
An hour and 8
I did want to mention, I did get, there was somebody that contacted me from Colorado that is going to get some, we did a wholesale mini planter kind of order.
Oh, cool.
They put a deposit down, so they're getting 50 of those.
Who is it?
Be pretty good. I want to say Blissful Botanical on Instagram. They contact me on Instagram.
Cool.
So I want to say Colorado. I think it's Colorado.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's
It's not
been
Texas?
new.
Are you sure it's not Texas?
I thought it was Texas because I told you Texas before, but I think it's Colorado.
Okay.
And then somebody reached out to me locally that was saying, hey, somebody told me I should, another one of my artists in my shop told me I should contact you. And they sell plants and stuff too. So I've been wanting to see if there's some contacts I can make for my planters because I feel like those are something I can crank out pretty well.
Yeah.
And I would be fine selling them wholesale or something like that. And yeah, it's been kind of interesting to figure out.
Plant people, man.
I know, it's crazy. That's what that's honestly what I'm focusing mainly on at the show on June 6th. I'm just going to have so many planters and the air plants and mini planters and hopefully the macrame hangers, and like I hope people just want to get those like crazy.
See if you can request to be put next to a plant person.
I don't think we have a plant person.
Well, get one.
What do you mean a plant person that just sells like succulents and stuff?
Yeah, like houseplants and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's one of those there that sells there.
Get on it.
There's a local place that people buy wholesale. I'm gonna sell them with the plants, so that I'm gonna wholesale. You buy like mini succulents or cactus or whatever for like $2 each, and then I'll resell them with my stuff.
Awesome. Get it, Ryan.
Fun. I'm hoping. We'll see.
All right.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. I gotta go anyway. I will talk to you later.
All right. Say bye, Autumn. She's not gonna say bye. All right.
I said it for her. Okay. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram, you could find the podcast at wheeltalkpodcast, or you could find myself at RD Ceramics. That's R's in Ryan, D's in Durban, Ceramics.
Or you can find me at 5 Lines Pottery Studio. That's the number 5. And don't forget, share this with your friends, like us on Instagram, and don't forget to write a review. It helps us an awful lot. Thanks.